All right, guys, so welcome to another video. So this is pretty much a surprise because I have to travel up north again. Didn't expect this, but I'm going to record this journey as well. So if you guys remember from my last journey, I pretty much, put in I customized my pretty much my whole trip. Like I customized which superchargers I was going to stop at because I have my own preferences, as well as I wanted to make sure I was getting the fastest speeds, and make sure I arrive at the hotel with enough charge, because the hotel doesn't have EV chargers on site. So I wanted to make sure I arrived there, had enough charge, and can drive around where I need to go and not have to really worry about charging for the time of my stay. So this time around, what I'm going to do is, instead of customizing the trip, I'm going to just put in the address. I'm going to just see where the car wants to go, and I'm going to just follow directions of the car. I will want to preface that if I'm going to arrive at the actual hotel with a low state of charge, I may stay at the charger longer just to kind of get enough charge, so I do not arrive with a low state of charge, because I know I'm going to need the energy to get around town and whatnot. So I'm leaving from Anaheim area, heading up to San Jose, or Santa Clara, whatever. Should be an interesting trip. It's Sunday. It's very, nice sunny day. It's about 75 degrees right now. It may get a little hotter as we get up, into the desert, and go up north. But right now, everything's going good. Let me show you what my car is looking like right now. All right, guys. So this is what my vehicle is saying right now. I'm actually charged up at 100%, charged at home. It's saying that I have 302 miles, which is awesome. Last time I charged 100%, it said it was gonna, I had about 294 miles. So it actually increased since last time. And keep in mind, when I did my review of my vehicle, I stated that when I first got this car, it used to say that I had a total of 325 miles. So that means really, based on what it's saying now, that I've only lost, about 22 miles or 23 miles in the grand scheme of things, which is pretty awesome. So my battery is actually still holding up pretty well as far as distance that I can travel. Of course, you never get exactly 302 miles, depending on the speed you're going and the elevation and things like that. So I put in the trip to go to the hotel up north. It is saying that it only wants me to stop at Kettleman City, which I love stopping at Kettleman City, which you guys should know if you saw my last video. Nice person walking a dog. But yeah, I'm gonna stop at Kettleman City. It thinks I should stop there for 25 minutes, and then it's quoting that I will arrive at the hotel with 12%. Now, of course, that's too low for me. I need to arrive with at probably at a minimum 40%. I would like to, just because even when I get to the hotel, there's no chargers on site, and I got to drive to work and a lot of stuff and drive around town. So I do want to make sure I'm at least 40%, and then when I'm on the way home, I can charge and prepare for my trip back, which is typically what I do. So yeah, this trip is a surprise for me. Something came up north that I need to go handle and be a part of. So I'm going to go take this trip and I'm going to enjoy it. So, if you're watching this, appreciate you guys watching. Of course, always appreciate you guys liking the video, subscribing. If you have any comments, definitely drop those in the comments section below. And let's take this trip. All right, see you soon. All right, guys, so I finally hit the road. This leg to Kettleman City is going to take me roughly about 3 hours or so. It's a distance of 200 miles, so this is not like a small leg here. I've already eaten breakfast, so I don't plan on stopping for any reason additionally, unless I have to use the bathroom or something like that. But there's something, a topic that I wanted to talk about, and something that I've seen in some of my comments, as well as in comments on other videos and things like that. But I think one of the main things that people don't like about electric vehicles is the fact that when you're traveling long distances and you have to stop at the charging station, sometimes it could take 30 minutes or so, depending on what kind of vehicle you have, how much, what's your state of charge, how long you need to be there. Like I said in my previous video, and if you did not watch that, I recommend you watch that video first, because I'm trying to make this video a little shorter than that one. I think those last videos were about 30 minutes long, which I think they had good detail, but since I'm, technically making like the same trip, I don't want to go that long unless people would like me to. But we'll see how the edit goes. But I think the issue with electric vehicles and why a lot of people are kind of nervous to pick those up is that they just don't want to have to stop somewhere for 30 minutes when you have a gas powered car or vehicle, you can just stop at the gas station for 3 minutes and fill up and be gone. I think for me, unless you take road trips frequently, and for me, I actually enjoy taking the road trips in my Tesla, and I take them, I just took this trip maybe a month ago. So I take, trips around the country, pretty frequently. I've went to Grand Canyon, I've went to Vegas. I take this car everywhere. And I enjoy the road trips, but it's not like I do it like every week or something like that. Like, I'm not traveling like, crazy frequently. It's typically like every 2 months or something like that. So it works for me. But for me, and then you got to think about it. If you're not doing that travel, most of the time you're just doing day-to-day driving. You're just driving around town, and you don't even have to deal with that. You're just charging at home. You're plugging in. When you wake up, your car is at 80%, 90%, whatever, but it gets you to point A, from point A to point B every day without no issues. You don't have to go to Sam's Club or Costco's or wherever to get gas that's a little cheaper than elsewhere and stuff like that. Like, you don't have to worry about that stuff and waiting in line. I've seen my wife like go to Costco or Sam's and wait 25 minutes to get gas too. So it's like, in that case, it really doesn't really make a difference to me, especially if you're going to like Sam's Club and things like that, because you're going to wait anyway for the gas, especially if you're in California. If you're up in a different state, it may not be as crowded, but here, those places get very crowded depending on when you go, especially on weekends. But I just want to say that if you're not doing frequently long trips, it's really not a big deal, because you're not worrying about it. You're not using superchargers if you have a garage. You're just charging at home. Now, for me, I think it's okay, because if I'm driving for 3 hours, if you have kids or even just myself, I'm going to stop and get food and probably have a bathroom break and do things like that anyway. So if I have to stop for 25 minutes or so, I don't really mind doing that, because I plug in the car, I go take, a bathroom break, I get food or something like that, or I walk, to a to a food establishment or whatever. And by the time I'm done, or I eat or whatever, it's time to get back to the car. So it's just not a big deal for me, and that's my experience with it. If you are driving 3-hour legs and stuff like that, most of the time you want to kind of take a little break anyway and not just hit the road, unless you're like rushing to be somewhere for at a specific time. Most of the time I'm just relaxed driving, so I'm not rushing to get up here. I know I'm going to get up here. I would like to get up here at a decent time frame. Right now it's quoting me as arriving, I left at about 11:30ish, so it's quoting that I'll arrive up there at about 5:36. So that's how long it's and it's also taking into account the 25-minute stop at Kettleman. Like I said, I'm probably going to extend that if I don't stop anywhere else. I'm really trying to follow the system this time around and just go and go to the places where it thinks I should go, but I also want to make sure I have enough charge when I get to the hotel, so I don't have to worry about that. That's just a convenience thing I do for myself. Now, if the hotel had chargers, I wouldn't worry about that. I would just stop there and go straight there with 10% left or whatever, and just charge when I get to the hotel. But since that's not possible right now, I want to make sure I get there with a decent state of charge. And keep that in mind if you get a Tesla or any electric vehicle. Keep in mind if the destination has chargers or if they don't have chargers, because that's going to dictate what you should arrive at. And is there a fast charger nearby that you can go to quickly? Keep that in mind. Do that research before you get there. It'll just make your life a lot easier. So just wanted to throw that out there. That's my experience. I don't really think about it that much, and like I said, most of my driving, I work remote, so most of my driving is over on the weekends, and I just charge overnight, and my car is always good to go in the morning. And when I take these road trips, it's not a big deal to me. I drive 3 hours, 3.5, and then I take a 20-minute break, walk, stretch my legs, and I'm good to go. So that's just been my experience. Now, I know other places could be different, so I know everyone's experience can be different and unique, but that's just been my experience. So I just want to give you guys my perspective. I had to do the same transition. I had an Audi A5 was my previous car, and I switched over to Tesla, and I still would never go back to a gas-powered vehicle unless I had to. I enjoy this car. I enjoy the road trips. I enjoy saving money. The gas prices right now for premium, which was what I was paying for my Audi, is $670. And in California, at least where I'm at, which is wild. I've seen higher than that, but it's rare that it gets this high. Typically it kind of averages around the $5 mark, or less, but usually it's about 5 something. That's usually pretty standard out here. But 670 or higher is like, or 6 and higher is pretty crazy. So yeah, my wife just got just regular unleaded, and she paid $100 in fuel, and she has to fill up like every week or so, week and a half to 2 weeks, and this is a lot of money. And for me, I fill up at home with a 14-cent per kilowatt. I'm probably paying like 20 something dollars to fill up. You know, it's not that, and then it's just not that bad for me. So yeah, depending on where you are, electric vehicles can save you a decent chunk of change, especially when there's no yearly maintenance, things that you got to do, no oil changes like that, no 12-volt battery replacements, things like that. So it's a lot of little savings that add up. Keep that in mind when you're debating whether or not you should get an electric vehicle or gas powered vehicle, and make sure it's convenient for you, because it's your car. You want to be safe, and you want to make sure it works out for you. So yeah, this went a lot longer than I expected, but yeah, just want to give you guys that quick perspective. Currently on the highway 5, headed up north. Quoted me about 3 hours, so I'll touch base with you guys in a bit. Peace. Man, I swear, only in LA and all these other big cities, it's Sunday, and it's at noon, and it's like just normal traffic. This is how it is during the week, that we're just on a 4-lane highway and going 30 miles an hour for no reason at all. It ain't no accidents, ain't nothing, just another day in LA. As I get closer to the city, the more traffic you come across, and this is why I do not like living, well, why I don't live in the city. I try to live on the outskirts. Still traffic on the outskirts, but nothing compares to just being actually in the city. It sucks. So yeah, quick status, saying I got about 2 hours and 55 minutes. So I'm gonna arrive with 33% state of charge. That actually dropped to 32% and went back up to 33 once I hit some of this traffic. So we will see how accurate that is. Typically averaging about, once I get on the straightaway where I'm out of the city on the 2-lane highway, I probably average about maybe 75, 80 miles per hour. So you know, I assume it may drop slightly, but I don't anticipate it dropping that much. So we will see how accurate that is, and see how long I need to stay there, or whether or not I need to stop somewhere else to get a good state of charge. Because if I'm stopping at Kettleman for 25 minutes, I probably can get a decent state of charge, but I don't want to charge up to the top, because that just kind of wastes time. So if I have to, I will stop somewhere else, in Gilroy somewhere else. So we will see. Keep you guys along for that decision as we get closer. But yeah, going through a little traffic as I get closer to the city, and then once I get out, I should hit open lane highway, hopefully with no accidents or no issues. So thank you guys for watching, and yeah, if you made it this far, we got a long way to go. So see you guys in a bit. All right, guys, so you know what time it is. I'm gonna talk about something really quickly because I'm stuck in traffic and bored. So I'm near Pasadena, getting close to the city, and of course that means more traffic. I'll probably be stuck in this traffic for about maybe like 20 more minutes or so. I'm not gonna talk that long, but just something I was thinking about is that I'm sure anyone that's watching this video is probably seen the new Model 3 that just got released overseas. That was released at the car shows and got announced overseas. I don't know, I feel some type of way about that. And it's kind of weird. I don't know why I do, but it just seems odd that Tesla announced it in Europe and didn't announce it in the US. I'm kind of like confused on why they didn't do that, because I feel like the US is one of their biggest markets. I think it's actually bigger than Europe. I think Europe is definitely an up and coming market for them. I mean, they sell a lot of vehicles in Europe, especially in Norway and some of these countries, but still, California itself is, a huge market for Tesla. So I don't know if they feel like they have enough orders already locked in California and in the United States, where they don't really need the surge of new orders. And they actually were falling a little bit in Europe, and with the competition that's over there, there's way more competition in Europe than it is in America. I will say that because they have NIO, some of the Chinese manufacturers over there. So maybe they announced it over there because they are experiencing a little more, competition, and they needed something to generate some surges. And, the car has been out since 2016. I'm sure it's gonna be announced over here. My thought, and I may be wrong at this, but I'm thinking that since the Cybertruck's supposed to be announced sometime Q3 or early Q4, I don't know, who knows, they haven't said anything. My thought is that maybe at the Cybertruck announcement, maybe they will go ahead and announce the Model 3 Highland there, that it will be there as well. I think that would be a big deal because that announcement's already on the books. So why not just kind of add it to that, just to kind of be the extra portion of it, and then actually specify when Cybertruck orders as well as the new Model 3 orders are going to take place in America. And they also thought it was odd that they didn't have a Model 3 Performance ready, and they just have like the long range and like the traditional kind of smaller or shorter range Model 3, and they didn't have a Model 3 Performance drop right on the announcement. That was kind of odd too. Maybe they're gonna announce that in America. I don't know. It's kind of confusing to me right now because they're actually taking orders for the Model 3 in China and in Europe, but not the US. So I'm kind of like, why is that a thing? I'm sure they're up to something that I can't think of right now. I just don't have any idea. If you guys have an idea of what they might do, or what you think the plan is, definitely drop that in the comment. It's just something I was thinking about. It's been almost like a month or so since they announced it, and people did test drives in Europe, but they haven't said anything about America or even when it may drop here. No details whatsoever. And I haven't seen like an interview with anyone saying, hey, when are you gonna announce it in America, and nothing like that. And it just seems kind of odd because I know that would have generated so many orders here. So it's got to be something deep that they're kind of planning and trying to be strategic about. Keep in mind the Model Y update is also in the cards. That hasn't been announced. I assume maybe that'll be announced next year if it didn't get announced with the Model 3, because I doubt they would want to kind of cut the sales with the Model 3 because it's going to generate a surge, and it wouldn't make sense to have the Model Y come out really quickly after the Model 3, especially since the Model Y did come out after the Model 3, actually like 2 years after, 3 years, once it hit full production. So I don't anticipate the Model Y Juniper, I think that's what it's called, a Jupiter, being announced until maybe next year. But I think the Model 3 looks cool. I do plan on doing kind of a quick like 5-point thing about that vehicle. I will say just a quick update on that. The one thing I like how the front looks to an extent. I like the back. I think the back looks really cool. I will say though, I am a little upset that they didn't change the side profile of that car. That they left it exactly the same as the current Model 3 and Model Y, but they changed the front and the back. I know a lot of vehicle manufacturers do that, but I feel like the front of the Model 3 Highland looks more sporty, but the side profile doesn't look as sporty as the front and the back. I don't know if you guys, let me know if you feel that way, but for me, it seems like the current Model 3, like it was new, everything was new, so it kind of like, I feel like it went with each other or went together. But now that I've seen the Model 3 and Model Y for a long time now, it seems like updating the front and the rear, making those look really pretty cool looking, and then the side looking the same with the same doorknobs or handles and things like that, just seems kind of off to me. But that's just my opinion. I still think it's a cool car. If I didn't have a Model 3, I probably would consider it. I heard rumors that it may be a Model 3 Plaid or something, or they may use a motor from the Plaid, Model S and Model X Plaid, who knows. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, if I didn't have a Model 3, I definitely would consider it whenever it's announced over here. But since I do, I'm kind of just looking elsewhere, looking at Model S, Model X, some other cars. Who knows what I end up getting? But I really love my car right now. So that's I mean, I guess that's a testament to Tesla itself. I love this car so much that I've looked at other cars and I still can't, I can't decide on anything because I love this car so much. So that's a good sign for Tesla. I even getting a Model S, like I love this 3 so much that I'm like, do I want to get a Model S? It's like, that's how crazy it is. It's weird. But yeah, just an update. About 2 hours, 30 minutes away. It's saying I'm going to arrive with 35% because I'm hitting all this traffic. So I'm actually gaining efficiency, which I'm sure I'm going to lose once I start getting back to speed. But yeah, going slow right now. And then once I get out of this traffic, I should be picking up speed. But yeah, just want to throw that out there. Let me know if you guys got any opinions or anything below in the comments. Definitely try to read up on all those. But yeah, thank you guys for joining me here. Ooh, nice Model S over there, red. But yeah, thank you guys for joining me here with these trips. And there will be a return trip as well. I do plan on doing that. But let's get up here first. And still right now it's saying that I only need to stop once. I don't know. Last time, remember, I stopped twice. I think I stopped twice on the way up here. And then I stopped 3 times on the way back, I think. Something like that. I need to watch the other video. But yeah, it says I only got to stop once right now. So I plan on just stopping once. We'll see if that remains to be seen or the same as I get closer and I get charging at Kettleman. But yeah, I will keep track. I'm starting to get some speed. I'm getting out of the traffic situation. So touch base with you guys in a bit again. See you guys soon. Alright guys, just a quick check. It's telling me right now that I will arrive with 29% state of charge, or at 29% state of charge. Keep in mind that did originally say 33%. I finally got out of traffic and I've been driving a little bit faster, and I'm going up some hills and inclines, as you can see, to make up for some of that traffic that I experienced near LA. So yep, 29% right now that I supposedly will arrive at. Quoting me to arrive at 2:48 at Kettleman, and I have about an hour and 50 minutes left, 127 miles remaining. I'm at 69% state of charge, saying I have about 210 miles on the for me to go, or well, at least that I can go. So yeah, everything's going pretty well now that I'm out of traffic. Yeah, and hopefully it's not really a lot of traffic for the next, for the rest of the commute. So we will see. Should arrive there with a good state of charge, and we'll see how long I'm going to stay there. I'm most likely going to go to the Kettleman side with the gift shop so I can do take a restroom break, probably get a Gatorade and some stuff out the shop. I might stop and grab some food too while I'm there. I don't know yet. Maybe I'll stop at In-N-Out, but yeah, everything's going pretty well. Nice weather we're looking at, Amazon truck. But yeah, nice good weather. It's 84 degrees right now, and I'm going up mountains right now, so my efficiency is definitely decreasing. But once I get to more flat land, maybe it'll increase a little bit more. But I'm probably going to be averaging, like I said before, about 75 to 80 to make up some time. And yeah, you should get there with a good state of charge. But I'll check in again probably once I arrive. See you guys soon. I spoke too soon. I hit traffic right after I recorded that last piece. So yeah, it's saying that I have traffic, you know, maybe like the next 5 minutes. So it's not crazy, but I didn't think I ran into more traffic. Yeah, this is not starting out the best. All right, guys, so we arrived at Kettleman City Supercharger. So before I was gonna go to, so if you guys watched my last video or you're familiar with this area, you know Kettleman City has 2 supercharger stations. So one station has a gift shop. It's on, you know, the kind of left side of the highway, and then I think it has about 40-50 stalls. And then on the right side, there's another supercharger station that has about 70 stalls. So when I was on the route, I saw that there were only 10 stalls available at the one with the gift shop. So I wanted to get some In-N-Out burger anyway, so that is right next to the stalls across the street. So I'm gonna go to the Kettleman City one with the 70 charters and then walk to In-N-Out burger. But just arrived, let's plug in real quick and see how long we're gonna be here. All right, blue light, we are charging. Alrighty, so we arrived here with 26%. In the beginning of the trip, it said we will arrive with 33%, so not too bad at all. I was actually driving relatively fast. We're actually already at the max, 254 kilowatts, pretty crazy, great charging. I've never had an issue at this particular charging station. This is one of the newer ones, and it's always worked perfectly fine. So I ramped up really quick, so this is a great charging section. For those that care, my current drive, I drove 201 miles. Burned 49 kilowatts, and my average consumption was 242 watt hours per mile. So yeah, it's 91 degrees, so it's definitely getting warmer. It's 2:45, so I should arrive hopefully at the hotel around 5:33. I actually kind of shaved about 5 minutes off of that, but I'm gonna stay here longer than the 20 minutes because I want to make sure I have enough percentage to get there and have a cushion. So yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna take a walk, get some In-N-Out since I'm gonna be here, you know, for a bit. I'm gonna eat and then probably watch a video on YouTube on the screen, which is always great. And then yeah, we'll hopefully get straight to the hotel. But yeah, so at least as of right now, I may only have to stop one time, but we're gonna see and monitor this and see, you know, what percentage I can arrive at the hotel. If it's okay, and it's a decent percentage, then I don't have to stop at Gilroy or anywhere else. But if it, you know, so hopefully I could just stop at this one charger. So already kind of breaking or going down because I'm already at 34%, so it's starting to kind of move downward, but still great charging speed. So I'm gonna walk to In-N-Out burger real quick, get a meal because I'm starving, and then yeah, I'll touch base with you guys when I get back. All right, guys, so I got my In-N-Out. So why was I in In-N-Out? It was crazy packed. You saw it, crazy packed. In there for roughly 25 minutes just to get my order. The car sent me a notification saying that I was pretty much good to go recently, and I'm at like 85% state of charge. So I'm sure I definitely can make it to the hotel. And now it's really just about evaluating whether I have enough percentage once I get there. But man, that's crazy. This is a prime example why I don't really trip about charging, because I plugged in, walked over to In-N-Out, and the car was ready before I was even ready and got my food. So now it's just been waiting on me, literally. So yeah, you don't have to worry about charging. This is just a good example of it, because most of the time, at least for In-N-Out, McDonald's would have been a lot quicker, but it's just crazy how long that took to get that food, and the car is just ready to go. So yeah, headed back to the car now. But here you go, guys. This is Sunday. Charger is pretty. It's a lot of Teslas here. Keep in mind, across the street, I think they only had like 12 opening that was available. So I don't know, right now it's about 30-40 here. So yeah, I got the only red, which is nice. So yeah, let's walk to the car and I'll give you the stats. Alrighty, guys, so clearly I have enough charge to continue on with the trip, but let's see what it's looking like. So it's saying I will still get there with 22% state of charge. I would prefer that to be higher, to be honest and quite frank. So I'm gonna stay here, keep it plugged in. It's going slow, like it's only at 40 kilowatts because I'm so high state of charge. But I want to eat here anyway. I don't really want to drive and eat right now, so I'm just gonna leave it plugged in. It's only charging by the kilowatt hour, so it's not like it's gonna increase the price or anything with me just keeping it plugged in. So I'm just gonna leave it plugged in. I may stop at Gilroy or somewhere for like 5 minutes just to get a little bit of cushion, additional state of charge. I haven't decided that yet, but I'm gonna see, you know, how high this percentage goes. If I can get up to like 95% and I have like 30% or something close to that when I arrive, that may be sufficient for me to get around the city and go to work, and then I could just stop at Gilroy and pretty much top up on the way back home. So I think that may be my decision, but I'm gonna stay here. Probably I'm just gonna eat, watch probably Dirty Tesla video on YouTube here in the car, and then once I'm done eating, I'll hit the road. But yeah, so if you don't follow Dirty Tesla, he does great FSD videos, just to throw that out there. But yeah, pretty good charger. Didn't expect to be in and out for 25 minutes. That was crazy. I thought I would be eating already and almost done eating so I can be ready to go, but it's fine. I'm not in a rush. I'll get there when I get there. I'm about to eat, enjoy myself here, and just chill, watch the YouTube, and I'll touch base with you guys when I'm about to head out. All right, guys, so I just finished eating. The car is at 97%, way higher than I thought I was going to get to at the supercharger, but this is normal. I wanted to eat my food. I didn't want to eat while I was driving, and I'm not like in a crazy rush to get there. I'm still supposed to get there around 6:15-ish. So this may have added like an additional 20 minutes or so. Really, it's not a big deal at all. I'm gonna unplug the car, and I think I may still stop at the Tesla gift shop because I do want to use the bathroom and see if they have any new shirts or anything like that there. Also, I did want to mention that it's really easy. All you do when you get to supercharge is plug in the cord and it starts charging. If you have a vehicle or Tesla vehicle, you will have a credit card associated with your Tesla account, and pretty much that car will be charged every time you go to a supercharger. So you don't have to worry about swiping a credit card or anything like that. When you get here, you just plug in and it just charges that credit card remotely and you're good to go. So I did recently see that if for some reason the credit card that is associated with your account, if it expired, it will show you in the car a warning saying that you can't supercharge and please update your credit card information. So I had a video that I dropped a while back that I quoted that I didn't know if, well, I've never seen a warning like that, and that stumped me one time where I got to supercharging and wouldn't charge, and I just magically realized, oh, I think that card expired. But now they actually have a warning to tell you in the car before you even start driving that, hey, you should change that if you're gonna, you know, use a supercharger. So I think that's really cool that they added that. It's just another convenience thing that they added, which is awesome. So I'm gonna stop at that gift shop real quick, take a bathroom break, and then yeah, I'm gonna hit the road. So see you guys. I'll show a little quick video on, you know, how that supercharger is looking too, because you've seen this side, but let's go see the other side. Yeah, it's like full here. It's pretty much like the whole station is pretty much full. So it's a different story. All right, guys, so I'm just stopped at the other Kettleman City supercharger with the gift shop to have a quick bathroom break, and I also wanted to just see how it was over here. But it's definitely pretty much full, like the screen said. It's only about 250 kilowatt stations or actual stalls available. Everything else is 150 kilowatts, and they're pretty much all full. I don't think a lot of these people know that across the street is the 250 kilowatt 70 stall station, where the speeds are a lot faster and there's a lot more of the 250 kilowatts. But most people do like to stop here because of the gift shop and things like that. But you know, sometimes when it just navigates to one of these. It doesn't really change, and so you kind of have to know that there's multiple stations here, and you know, if one is full, just go to the other one. Usually that one that works for me. So, but yeah, I did want to mention that. So my charge here session pretty much was $23.92. I should be able to make it all the way up to San Jose with roughly 30% or something. It's saying 34%, but I'm gonna say probably a little lower than that. But yeah, $23.92 to get from Anaheim up north, and then when I come back, you know, probably be around the same, somewhere similar price wise, just for those that, you know, want to, you know, are concerned about the price. But let's get on the road, and I'll check in a second. So another thing, I'm just now leaving the station, and I saw that on the other side, well, across the street, there's 10 Electrify America stations here. And when I looked at the app, it showed that 9 of those were full. I'm not sure if that's true or not because the app is not that reliable, but that's the thing. That's a huge discrepancy from compared to Tesla and Electrify America. Like here is about 120 Tesla stars or chargers, and Electrify America only has 10 throughout this whole city. There's no other station across the street that has more chargers or anything like that. It's just 10. I think that's kind of crazy to me because this is a pretty big stop for a lot of people because it has so many food establishments here. I mean, In-N-Out, Denny's, Jack in the Box, McDonald's, like it's just so much. Starbucks, so numerous gas stations. It's just a really popular spot to stop at. So it's just it's surprising that there's not more stalls or chargers with Electrify America. And that's kind of one of the things that kind of freaks me out, that I've kind of thought about, getting a Rivian or getting something else just to try something different. But then it's like, I don't want to have to worry about taking a road trip and whether or not there's going to be enough chargers and stalls. And that's why, pretty much a lot of the manufacturers are starting to partner with Tesla to use their chargers because they have abundance of chargers. Now they do get full. It's a lot of Teslas out here. They do get full during certain times of the year and during holidays and things like that. And even right now, like it's Sunday afternoon and a lot of those stalls are full pretty much at that one station, but they added another 70 to kind of compensate for that. But it's way too many EVs getting sold these days and being announced for Electrify America to only have 10 stalls at Kettleman City. Like there's way too many vehicles and people that stop there. So it freaks me out. It's like I make this trip frequently enough, and I would love to take a Rivian or something, but I don't want to get to the charger and it's always a wait. Even if it's a normal day, not a holiday, like it's a wait and I have to sit there and then maybe the charger's not working once I finally get done with the wait. Like that kind of scares me. It makes me not want to give it a try. Now I have considered that maybe I can get another car and maybe just that be my home car, and then I'll take the Tesla on the road trips if I'm just going to work or something, if I keep it, and then take the Rivian like on a trail or something. If I go up to Zion National Park or go on a camping trip or something like that, take that. I don't know, but I do have a Cybertruck on reservation right now too. But I love my Tesla. I just sometimes I want to just see what the competition is doing. Not that I think they're better or anything. I just it's good to try out new things. But I do love my car, and I don't even think about charging this car. It's just I get there, I get great speeds, I go eat, it's ready to go. It tells me everything. Like I don't have any problems with it. But that's just one example, like the discrepancy between the two chargers and why everyone's partnering with Tesla. And I think because they're going to start partnering with Tesla, what's the incentive for Electrify America to increase their chargers and to continue to try to do better? Like who's going to want to use them if they can just go to a Tesla charger that has way more stops, chargers and things like that? It doesn't make sense to me. But hopefully, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Electrify America get their act together and maybe they'll just increase the amount of chargers they have and build locations that have a crazy amount, and that make it a lot easier, because there's a lot of great cars out there. I mean, the Taycan's a good car. I mean, the new Lotus, what's it called, Electra SUV, like the Rivian's great. I mean, it's a lot of great cars out there. They're just, the Lucid is okay. I mean, they're just really hampered right now by the charging infrastructure, and until that gets settled and it works out for them, they're going to be kind of in that behind Tesla thing. So we'll see. I'm still curious on how this partnership with Tesla is going to work. Is that going to allow them to use every charger, or is it just going to be certain chargers? Or they don't have any V4 chargers, at least that I know of, in America yet. They have a lot of them in Europe that they're starting to install. But maybe once they'll start installing V4 superchargers in the United States next year, and then maybe from that point on, all those chargers will work with other manufacturers that they partner with. That's how it is in Europe. So maybe, because all these stalls are pretty much are geared for Teslas. They're not geared for anyone else, any other vehicles. Cords aren't long enough. They're on the wrong side of the vehicle for those cars and stuff. So it just wouldn't work out to allow them to use chargers like that unless they're going to update them all and turn them into V4s or something like that. So we'll see how that goes. But I got about 2 hours and 40 minutes left. Originally I was going to get there at 5:36, and now it's saying around 6:30. So I definitely took a little break. I mean, in and out, I was in there for 25 minutes, and then I ate for about 15-20 minutes in the car, because I hate driving. I just don't like driving and worrying about eating at the same time, because I don't want to drop nothing or fry or something in the seat and stuff. So I just wanted to relax, take a load off. But yeah, we're gonna knock out this last 2 hours and 42 minutes. I'm gonna not plan on stopping. I'm gonna go straight there, and I think I should be okay. And I'm thinking if I get there around 30% once I'm leaving San Jose, maybe I'll be at 20 something, and then I'll just top up at Gilroy when I'm headed back home. I think that's the plan right now. So we'll go with that. And yeah, I'll check in a bit. And I've seen a lot of Teslas also on 18-wheelers and stuff. It's been a lot of them like this trip. I don't know if it's just because it's Sunday or what, but I've seen a whole bunch of them. But yeah, everything's going good, smooth. But yeah, I'll check in a sec. Peace. Alright guys, just a quick check-in. I'm about an hour and 36 minutes away from the hotel, so everything's going well. It was something I wanted to mention in this video as well, is that just like, well, it's even more apparent with superchargers and just charging stations in general, but just like gas stations, when electricity falls, obviously you're going to have an issue with charging long distance. And that's something to be always concerned about, and it's a good reason to be concerned about, because if you arrive at a charger station or a city that is out of power, of course you can't charge. Now, I will say, to circumvent that, some Tesla chargers do have solar panels and backup battery systems, so that even if the power does go out, you're still able to charge for a given amount of time, which is great. I'm hopeful that all of them eventually one day have solar panels and are not 100% connected to the grid, so that we can have electricity if we need to have that for long distance travel. But I will say the navigation on a Tesla is really good, because in my experience, you do have chargers that go out of service because maybe Tesla's doing updates or something like that, and they will take them offline. So similar to electricity going out, some chargers just may be offline sometimes. That doesn't happen that frequently, and typically when it does happen, there's other chargers nearby, so you always can just go to another one. But if that were to happen, the navigation would not route you to that charger if it's currently out of line or offline. So some chargers may, you may get a few stalls that are out of service or something like that. It'll still route you there, but if the whole station is offline, the navigation will not route you to that specific charger. It's going to route you to another charger that's still open. So the same thing is applicable to electricity. So maybe a section of a city is dead and all the electricity is out, it's going to try to route you to a charger on the other side of the city that where the power is still on. So keep that in mind. Always do your due diligence, do the research before you take a crazy long trip. See if there's any storms or anything that's approaching, specifically like if you're in the South Florida or somewhere, hurricanes and things like that, because power does go out. And that's why it's really good to have, like, if you do have a house, to have solar panels or a like a power wall or something, a battery storage system, so that if power does go out, you still have some electricity as a backup, which is great. So just wanted to mention that. Like I said, I have hour and 30 minutes. I'm currently at 59% state of charge. Still saying I'm going to arrive at 32%, which is pretty good. So I'm hopeful that I arrive with at a minimum 30%, and that should get me around town and everything without any issues. So yeah, everything's going good. Let's get this last hour knocked out, and touch base with you guys once I get to the hotel and grab dinner and study. So yeah, everything's going good. Touch base soon. All right, guys, we made it to the hotel. It is currently 6:36. I had 32% state of charge at my arrival, which is great. It said estimated was 33%, so 1% off is not bad at all. I did hit a little bit of traffic, so I did slow down in certain instances, but let me show you the screen. All right, guys, so as I said, 32%. I have about 96 miles that I can drive that it claims right now, so that's more than enough to get around and get to a supercharger. Scroll over here. My trip total was 376 miles distance-wise. I burned 92 kilowatt hours, and my average consumption was 246 watt hours per mile. Currently it's 70 degrees, so it was like 91 or so when I was in the desert area, and now it's a lot cooler up north. But yeah, 89,000 miles odometer right now. So definitely about to hit that 90,000 mark, and then yeah, I need to go get my tires rotated and some things done. But yeah, we are here. And so let's do a quick outro. All right, guys, so just a quick summary. We left the house with 100% state of charge. That was claimed to be 302 miles that I could have drove on that charge. I only stopped at one supercharger, which is great. I paid $23.92 to stop at that one supercharger. I've arrived at the hotel with 32%, so that's going to get me around. And my thought is that I'm going to have to stop at Gilroy or a neighboring supercharger on the way back. And then probably if it routes me to Kettleman or some other supercharger. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to stop at two superchargers on the way home. And the price is probably going to be around $30 or $35 just because I have to incorporate one extra stop in there. Probably be about $10 for that stop. So yeah, I think total maybe looking at like $60-$70, but we'll see. I'll crunch those numbers when we get to the part 2 and when I get back home. But yeah, I appreciate everyone if you made it this far. Hopefully this wasn't a long video. I don't know until I edit it, but you know, if you made it through this entire video, I just want to say thank you guys for showing me the support and commenting on the video. Definitely throw those comments if you have any suggestions or anything like that, or any videos that you would like to see or input. If you want my input on anything, definitely let me know that, and I will try to respond as soon as I can. Like I said, this will be a part 1. I will do a part 2 on the way back, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to just put and my home address and let the car just route me to whatever supercharger that it wants me to stop at. So if it wants me not to stop at the outlet mall or things like I did on the previous road trip, I'll just do that. So we're gonna go with what it says, and just to show you guys that it's still convenient to just follow the planner. It's not gonna do anything wrong for the most part. It's gonna get you to your destination. Just keep in mind what the percentage that it claims you will arrive at. It's pretty accurate. But you know, if you need to drive around some more or do a lot more driving, you may want to charge a little bit higher and have a bigger cushion, so when you get to your destination, you don't have to worry about finding a charger as soon as you get there. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, thank you guys. Definitely throw some comments in the comment section below. Like and subscribe if you like this content, if you want more, as well as, you know, I'm going to leave my Tesla referral code in the description. So if you are on that lookout for a Tesla or you plan on ordering one, definitely feel free to use my code. You'll get some money off, as well as 3 months full self-driving. And just make sure you use anyone's code. Like I said in my previous video, it's good because you save money no matter what, as well as if you use my code, I get points as well. So it's all great on both sides. But yeah, thank you guys. Like and subscribe, and I will talk to you later. Peace.